Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the One of Us podcast. Today, we're going to be sharing some stories, some funny ones, some emotional ones, some deep ones, and just giving you our genuine reactions to all of them, and maybe digging a little bit deeper as we go through each of the topics. So we're excited that you guys are here with us today. All right, so I did a little research, found some clever ones, and found some funny ones. So I'll read them and you guys can give me your reactions. Okay? Now, here's the first story. It says, in my junior year of high school, this guy asked me on a date. He rented a Redbox movie, first red flag, and made a pizza. We were watching the movie and the oven beeped so the pizza was done. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "This is the worst part." I then watched this boy open the oven, pull out the pizza with his bare hands, rack and all, screaming at the top of his lungs. We never had a second date. Your thoughts?
Sounds like she couldn't handle the heat, so she had to get out of the kitchen.
She did get out of the kitchen. I'm telling you right now, I'd get some cold water for his
I have to
hand.
say, first I got a timeout. What's your problem with Redbox? That was like the intermediary between Netflix and when Blockbuster went bankrupt.
There's nothing. I just wanted to make a controversial statement. I love Redbox. We used to do Redbox all the time too. I loved, right in front of McDonald's, going and getting a $1 spicy McChicken.
McDonald's?
Those $1 spicy McChickens with the $1 large fries. McDonald's, you've done everyone dirty because your dollar menu is no longer $1. My sister and I would literally go around digging up quarters to go and get spicy chickens.
Okay, boomer.
Don't talk to me like that. I think we should start a petition to bring back Blockbuster.
Okay, I want to hear
yes.
what your... Okay. Well, have you guys heard of that really cool Airbnb in Washington? Or is it Alaska? There's only one existing Blockbuster. It's like you sleep in the Blockbuster, and there's thousands of movies you can pick from.
Can you watch the movies?
I think so, but it's the last standing Blockbuster.
And are they DVDs or is it VHS?
Okay, boomer. I don't know that answer, but I'm assuming they're DVD.
Do you want to find out that answer?
We should do our next camping trip there. And just do
in Alaska?
Heck no, not in Alaska.
Dude, I love Blockbuster, but not enough to go to Alaska for it.
Hey, if you're from Alaska, so sorry. I actually want to visit there one day.
Don't they have a Blockbuster museum?
The only thing I know about Blockbuster is that one day I went with my brother because I was really young, and the guy was like, "Yeah, Netflix sucks." And then 2 months later, they went bankrupt, so Netflix took his job. Okay, but from this story, what I really want to know is why do you guys think he barehanded that grill or that oven?
Maybe he didn't know that the oven mitts existed. Yeah, I want to know what's going down in his house. Because I think he genuinely believed that that's what you had to do to get stuff out of the oven.
Maybe he was undiagnosed with some form of mental challenge.
Don't say that. Okay, but if he had done that before, mind you, because he said, "This is the worst part," meaning that he
every single
has
time he
grabbed
does that.
stuff bare. His hands, what are they like? Maybe he's preparing for something. He has to prepare his hands for the fire. What fire is he going to? I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Either no one taught him about the proper tools in the kitchen, or he's too lazy to get the proper tools for the kitchen.
Or maybe they were too poor to get the tools for the kitchen. Look,
Possible.
the possibilities are endless. Listen, this is why we love the Dollar Tree. Yeah, but I feel bad for this guy's hands. If you're listening to this in any way and have found us, please, I'd like to send you oven mitts and a tutorial on how to use them.
Dang,
I bet you anything he probably just put the pizza dead in the center. He didn't put it on anything.
I think he forgot. Yeah, that's what I think. Or he would
think.
Well, they were in high school,
I think he was
right?
trying to impress her.
He never done it before.
But he said this is the worst part. I know, he wanted to seem like, wow, I can do hard things. Like, I can literally stick my hands in the flames. But it's not like he took it like a man. He screamed.
Okay,
I would
can
understand if he was like, Can I show you something cool? Watch, I can do this with my bare hands.
If a guy still did that, I still would not go on a second date. I'd be like, honey, that was dumb.
Juan, have you ever done that one? Or no?
Done what?
Like grab something from the oven with your bare hands?
Well, hold on. Let's actually ask a good question. What is the dumbest thing that you guys have ever done to try and impress someone? Juan has a story.
I was like 6 years old, and like you know how like when you were like doing the monkey bars, only the cool kids skipped one bar. So there was this girl, her name was Joanna, and she was like the coolest kid on the block because she could skip 2 bars. Right, that was pretty impressive for like a third grader. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to one up her and skip 3 bars. So I tried to skip 3 bars and I landed on my wrist and it broke.
Did you do it in front of her?
Okay, you know what's crazy about that story? I did that, but I didn't cry. Like I wasn't like I was just like, wow, my
See?
arm hurts.
He took
And I
it like
can't
a
move it.
man. He took it like a man.
Okay,
And
but you know what? The saddest part of that story is that Joanna never signed my cast.
You got rejected after trying to show off.
I know, I remember it too. I was like, hey, can you sign my cast? And she's like, I don't want to. And I was like, wow.
I did this for you. Wow, you went to war for her and she didn't even thank you.
It's okay.
Wow.
Mrs. Cleveland signed my cast.
Just name dropping here
The
left
pity
and right.
signature.
That
All
is
right,
so-
Tati, Crystal, what is the dumbest or weirdest thing that you guys have ever done to try and impress someone? This is gonna sound a little creepo deepo, but just hear me out. I pray nobody is listening that I went to high school with. So I kind of had a crush on my physics professor. So like I
You
intentionally
mean teacher?
Yeah, teacher. I intentionally like held all my books and I tripped and fell in front of his class to see if he could come and help me. But then right as I did that, the bell rang and like 1,000 people ran out and basically trampled me and jumped on the ground. And yeah, I
This
never
is how I
got
know
my
you
movie
watched-
moment.
This is how I know you watch too much television, because you thought that if you tripped that he would come and pick you up. And while he's helping you, you guys would like lock eyes and be like, oh my gosh.
With my 40-year-old teacher.
The Hallmark movie vibe.
Yeah.
No,
Basically,
that's
an episode of Cops.
Dang.
You're right.
Dang, Vic,
You're
that
right.
was preach.
That was funny.
Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? But it's in school, so it's bad boys, bad boys. Vic, explain
Wow.
yourself.
I definitely have done stuff to try and impress people. One time
I shaved
my eyebrows. No, I never shaved my eyebrows. One time I was longboarding, and as I was longboarding, I was going downhill, and I saw this really cute guy, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna nonchalantly, like, you know, kind of swerve on my longboard. No, the second that I go to, like, you know, trying to be cool, nonchalant, whatever, I hit a fat rock. I fly forward. My board flies backwards. He's watching all this, doesn't say anything to me, doesn't ask if I'm okay or not. And out of pure embarrassment, instead of just turning around and getting my board out of the bush that it flew into, I just walked backwards because I didn't want him to look at me. So he's just watching this girl moonwalk, grab her board out of the bush, and just walk away. And that was that. Didn't work out. Never again.
No, that wasn't that impressive. You had a lot of opportunities to do more impressive things.
I just don't understand the walking backwards. It was just more so like, yeah, it was an awkward. I don't know what my thought process was. Like, I should have turned around and said, well, that was rough, and grabbed my board. I feel like that would have been so much better.
Probably. Yeah.
We learn how to own these things as we get older.
You know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of like Scooby-Doo, like when he's like, ruh-roh, Raggy. That's what the vibe you kind of gave me.
Sounds pretty accurate.
Okay, so I actually looked up this next story on Reddit. I know, guilty, but I just thought it was really kind of funny, and I want to ask a follow-up question on it. So basically, this guy, he posted, he said, I was smoking a cigarette. Don't recommend, kids don't smoke. That's bad. He said he was smoking a cigarette outside of his college in downtown Boston. And a guy who looked like The Rock, but he was homeless, came up to him and asked for a cigarette. He was wearing cut shorts and no shirt with surgical gloves on. And it was in the dead beat of winter. So it's like snowing a lot, right? So this homeless guy who looks like The Rock and is like ready for the summer with surgical gloves on thanks him. And they kind of just smoke it out together. And he said that he gave him the deadliest stare of his whole life after 30 minutes in silence and said, I think I'm going to kill everyone. And then the guy said, nah, man, don't do that. And he said, okay, I think this conversation really helped me clear things up. And he said, that's probably the proudest moment I've ever had in my whole life.
That's kind of a really weird, proud moment.
I have so many questions.
Well, I
he
guess-
might have just saved a bunch of people.
That's what I was thinking, but I wanted to know if you guys ever convinced somebody not to do something you knew was going to go downhill.
I'm usually the one convincing that person to do it, so...
Yeah, Vic's the instigator.
But here's the thing, I'm usually convincing Crystal to do stuff, and I do that because I know Crystal will do it. I literally just have to be like, hey, Crystal, it'd be really funny if you did this. And because I know Crystal wants to get a laugh out of people, she'll do it.
Yeah.
And it works. Crystal's the brain, or I'm the brains, Crystal's the muscles in a way.
I feel like Chris can convince you to do stuff too, Vic.
Sometimes, nothing that would embarrass me.
Yeah, I convince Vic to do like fun things in life. She convinces me to do embarrassing things. So actually, this story reminded me of something in my own life when I was the hero in someone's story. I'm just kidding. But not really. So there's this fight breaking out in my high school, and I was just walking by with my friend, and the person punching the other person, instead of punching them, missed their face and punched me as I was walking out. And I yelled so loud at the top of my lungs that everyone got so scared, and the fight was over. So I saved the day, really.
I believe that because your scream is piercing.
I was thrown off guard. I was literally punched. So the crowd around the people fighting dissipated.
Have you ever been punched before, Juan?
You know, I've never actually been in a fight ever in my whole life.
Is Crystal the only one?
Crystal willingly fights.
Crystal willingly.
Hold on.
Okay, have you guys ever been to a fight, or what was the closest encounter you've ever been to a fight?
Well, I have one. When I was in high school, my family had like people over, and I was teaching the little kids that are in elementary school how to play the card games like BS or whatever, those. I left the room, and then they were playing with my cousins that are older, like my age, and my cousins got mad at each other and started fist fighting in front of the kids, and I had to break it up. So, yeah.
We're lovers, not fighters.
What do you think about those guys who fight like because their sports team lost?
Lame. That's how I feel about when I watch men's soccer.
Honestly, they should just choose a better team.
Speaking of fights, what about the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight? Did you watch it, Juan?
That's a whole nother podcast on its own.
That was too much for me, that whole
We
experience.
could make a whole episode of just watching that fight and giving our reactions to it.
I was a Jake Pauler for life, so
Well, I
I'm
know
glad
you
with the
were
results.
not.
10-1, going to climb to the top to beat Canelo. So, it's all good.
Have you seen the memes where people take Jake Paul and he goes, all right, next up, Muhammad Ali. I know he's not in the ground. Pull him out. We're going at it. Have you seen
I
those?
have not seen that.
Oh
No,
my
I've seen the
gosh.
memes. I've seen the memes as like POV watching the fight on Netflix, and it's like they're about
The
to throw
buffer.
a punch, and then it buffers to like 25%.
I didn't have buffer issues.
I
A lot
had
of my
buffer
memes,
issues the entire night.
I did not. Honestly, upgrade your Wi-Fi. 'cause
Okay,
we did.
Tati. Tati's like, you peasants, you guys experienced buffer because you had the
Mhm.
lower gig access bandwidth.
Me and my brother also had issues. No, but like everyone on my feed were just saying that it was elder abuse. So it
I
was
know,
a
Jake
rip.
Paul kind of lost because if you think about it, he beats up an old man. But if he loses to an old man, like, he lost either way.
Well, he's claiming that he keeps asking for like the younger fighters, but they won't give it to him.
They probably won't because he'll get knocked out. These guys have been
But,
training
like-
their whole life, and he's been training for what, 2 years?
Whoa. He has professional people training him, but he should fight someone really funny.
Like who?
Muhammad Ali.
No,
It's
we
just a
can't do old.
skeleton.
Who would you have him fight with, Juan?
I don't know, maybe the king from Burger King?
The dog
That's
from
like-
Taco Bell.
Whoa,
Dude, I haven't seen.
don't bring animal abuse in this.
The mermaid from Starby.
That's crazy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have a story. It's a little bit of a different vibe, but I just thought it was kind of interesting, and I was curious if you guys have had any experiences like this that were kind of oof. So it says, I was reading a book of poetry that somebody bought me while I was at a cafe. and the man next to me asked me what I thought of it. While I'm no critic, I do enjoy it and do try writing it. I told him that there were some excellent poems in it, but that it had too much filler in the same way that most albums do, and that I think it would be much better if the literary world worked on an iTunes model where I could simply buy individual stories for 99 cents instead of having to pay $15 and dislike most of the work. He thanked me for the thoughts regarding the book, and so I figured he wouldn't be buying it. And it wasn't until after he left that I closed the book and saw his picture on the back of it. Whoops.
That's sad.
Huh.
So the guy was the author of the book he was reading, and when he asked for his opinion, he kind of said that it was too much money for what it was worth, and he wasn't the biggest fan. So I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on
this
that.
reminds me of a conversation that we had actually not too while ago. I was a part of speech and debate. And I think my teachers, honestly, the more I think about it, set me up for failure. But the topic for the speech and debate was, should there be like an age limit to when you can have kids outside of like, when you're able to be married and give consent? You should only be able to have kids if you're financially ready, or you should only be able to have kids if you're like, I don't know, something like that, right? I had to defend the side of you should only have kids when you're like 25 or something, or you have your career, or you have to apply to have kids. And like I was debating this girl, and she was kind of advocating that for like teen pregnancy. And I was saying how like teen pregnancy is dumb, but what I didn't know was that the person I was debating was actually pregnant.
That's rough.
Dude, I know. If you're ever listening out there, I totally apologize. I'm on your side.
I mean, if you didn't know, I mean, it is what it is, you know?
I know.
But
No
hey,
wonder she was so mad.
But if you're stepping up into the ring, you're having a discussion, it is what it is. You gotta take it.
You know what's funny? This reminds me of like, Crystal is pretty fair-skinned. So like sometimes when we're in public, people always speak in Spanish, like behind Crystal's back. But then they get really shook when Crystal speaks Spanish.
That's like
I
my
feel
biggest superpower.
I was about to say, I feel like that'd be a really cool superpower.
I feel like it is my superpower when people speak the language that I speak.
What is the worst thing you've heard someone say?
It's usually not too bad. Like maybe they're annoyed at, something that I did or whatever. And then I'm just like, and then I pull my power move and I just respond to them and they're like,
Do they apologize?
I think normally I just catch them off guard and then I walk away. It's just my mic drop moment. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think that's my superpower is blending in. But yeah, has that ever happened to you guys where like even when someone gives you a gift or something and maybe you didn't realize they gave it to you and then you say something about it and it's like, oof.
Probably me.
Yeah, I'm sure it's happened. I just can't think of one right now.
I feel like
Have you
sometimes when
ever-
people give me gifts, I'll be like, oh my gosh, like I was totally looking at the one that was red when they gave me something that was blue.
I just think of the time that Vic and I got you like a bunch of gifts and you were like, no, guys, like, why'd you buy this? Return it right now.
Dude, why'd you make me sound like a bro? Like,
You
Let me
are a bro.
that was kind of scary, Tati.
Juan's not a good gift receiver. He gets like cringed out.
Well, it was
You
just,
look so uncomfortable.
well, to be fair, all the gifts were sucky.
You're
just kidding.
full on capping right now. You still have the
Those gifts
gifts.
I still have the plant somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's probably somewhere in my room.
Yeah, we have it. We have the plant.
What
And
about your other gifts?
we have the tiger?
I have the...
Lion.
You guys
The
gave me
lion, sorry.
a portrait. It's somewhere around here too. Like one of those like Hobby Lobby signs.
Yeah.
Gotta love him.
Do you
Anyways-
are you like a gift hoarder? Like when you get gifts, is it hard for you to throw it out?
No,
For me,
I
yes.
just
I think
been...
what it is.
Well, this is my thing with gifts.
Pretzels
I've
I
always
usually
been
throw out.
taught to just buy what you need. So when someone buys me something, it feels like odd.
Maybe you just haven't received many gifts in your life.
I received the gift of salvation.
I guess that's the gift that matters.
Yes.
The only one that matters. Okay. I have a story. I went to this girl's party the week after she was beating up my friend. While everyone was going and partying, I went around putting tuna inside all the curtain rods. So weeks went by and they couldn't figure out why the house smelled like festering death. They caught me through the video where these guys at the party were singing Beyonce while I was in the background with a can of tuna.
I don't know how he thought about this. Like
Something's
that's kind
fishy
of...
afoot.
Like, how do you think about pulling this prank?
But why would you do that? Like, was she mad at the party people? What was
So-
the beginning part? She fought her friend, so her
So I think
revenge
the week
plan was to fish
before-
it up?
Yeah, I think it was a revenge plan because the week before they were saying that they were beating up on their friend pretty hard. And so I think their friend kind of came out looking rough. And as a revenge story, they're like, you know what? We're going to put some tuna and some fish hidden inside your house so it smells.
They didn't go far enough. They should have brought like lice or something.
Oh my gosh.
Only you
Crystal
would think
brought
of
lice
that.
to us.
Hey, I contacted lice from one of our other friends.
Okay. Have you guys ever done something to get revenge? Have you ever had a revenge story where you're like, they did my friend dirty or they did me dirty, so here's what I'm going to do out of retaliation?
BC days, for those who are listening, BC days means before you were saved. I don't think so. I'm not a big fan of retaliation because I feel like if you're wanting revenge, you're like, it's more of an outward showing that whatever they did still bothers you. Like, that's kind of sad type deal.
Okay, do you know anyone that's had some revenge stories?
No,
I
I've
help-
wanted people to have revenge arcs though. Like, I had a PE teacher who, like, when you were sharing this tuna story, it reminded me when, like, in the boys' locker room, people would like hide milk cartons throughout the gym so that like months on end it'll start to smell like rotten cheese. And be like, who put these milk jugs in here? I wish that guy had a revenge arc, but he never did.
The
You'd probably get
only
fired.
the only thing I've participated in that was kind of like this wasn't a personal revenge story that I had, because I also didn't really do anything like that. But a friend of mine had an ex that she wanted to prank, and so we
And who is this?
TP'd his house. Someone who should not be named. We TP'd the ex's house and, like, I think egged it or something.
Whoa, okay, egging, now that's too far.
It was like 2 eggs. Okay, it wasn't that deep. But it was mostly just like TPing.
You
But
know,
it was kind of lame.
Crystal, was this when I was
For-
with you?
Yes.
for
No,
all the guys,
okay, no. Hold on. Let me give context to this. Okay, these people had never TP'd a house before. And I was like, I've TP'd a house, but we have to do it late at night. At like 11, 12, 1 in
that's
the morning.
still pretty early.
No, they say, let's go at 8 p.m. And I was like, guys, this is Las Vegas. Everyone is up. And then they wanted to get eggs. I said, guys, do not get eggs because it takes the paint off. With toilet paper, you just rip it off. You know, you stick a couple forks in the yard. Completely harmless. No, they bought the eggs. I remember Crystal brought 2 eggs in to my car. And I said, Crystal, we're not throwing those eggs, so don't even think about it. As I'm driving away, what does Crystal do? She rolls down the window, throws it, but misses the house entirely and hits the car.
Crystal,
Guys, if you
have you ever
knew-
repented from this?
Yes, if you knew the level of my strength, and if you can see my arm in this YouTube video, you know that egg did not go very hard. So
Hey,
it
put
was
those
probably
pistols
fine.
away. Put those pistols away.
We're being great examples right now.
Hey, I was young, okay?
It was last week.
That was like a decade ago. That was so long ago.
Yeah.
And I've
it was
never
like 7-8
participated in
years ago.
any pranks like this before. But also what I thought of was when Juan was joking about the lights, someone was trying to prank us at this girl's house that we lived in, and they tried to put Nair in our shampoo. And I thought that would be too far of a revenge story.
I'm telling you right now, if that person succeeded, I can't tell you, the BC girl in me would come out so freaking hard. I would retaliate in such a grand way that he would
Vic, why? You have a shiny forehead. You probably will have a shiny head.
No, if he put freaking Nair in my shampoo, he would live to regret that day for as long as he would.
Here's the thing,
alive.
though. We say all this, but we're close friends with all the people that pranked us. But
No.
yeah, we definitely had prank wars going on.
I would take him out.
My favorite prank story was when the guys tried to prank us, but we knew that they were trying to prank us, but we were also trying to prank them.
It
At
was
the
my
same
fault.
day, at the same time, without coordinating it.
Yeah, my favorite thing was sneaking into the backyard and seeing you guys play Monopoly for like 20 minutes.
You guys took so long. Oh my gosh. Okay.
We were
so
just watching you guys play Monopoly, though.
This is the story. Arturo, I forgot how it goes. Honestly, we pranked each other too many times for me to remember who started what. All I just remember was the girls were trying to prank Arturo, and they managed to, I guess, one day go to the store and buy all this stuff and put a bunch of cups of water at his house to when you walk in and there's so much water, it's like you can't step anywhere, you're gonna spill water everywhere. So apparently that same day the guys were like, oh, let's prank the girls by originally, so the girls twist the story by saying that we were gonna prank them by shooting BB guns at them, but that was the backup plan. The real plan was we were just gonna try to spook them really hardcore at their house. So Victoria gave Arturo a key to feed her dog, so he made a copy of the key. And I feel so bad because the guys were like, you guys need to park really far so they don't know that we're there. But I literally parked down the street, so I kind of gave it away. But I do like Tati's video of her going to the backyard and filming in the basement. And they took so long, you guys. They were supposed to come home at 7. They came at 10. So we did the only natural thing to waste time, and it was to play Monopoly.
But I remember you guys called us asking what we were doing, and we said we were having a deep girls conversation and didn't know we were coming home. Also, to level up the whole prank on Arturo, the one thing I do love is his mom kind of pushed us to put food dye all over the cups. And I feel like that just took that to the next level. So that was funny.
If you guys listening have any good prank stories, we'd love to know. We love reacting to these stories.
Okay, I'll say that there was this one girl. Quick story, it was back in high school. These girls were having a feud. They were upset. One girl snitched on her friend to her mom and got her grounded for a whole month. And out of revenge, she took all the clothes that her friend had left at her house and burned it in her backyard and then sent a video to her. And I just remember this time because she came to school raving of how she burned her clothes. And during that time, it was during the Juicy Couture sweatpants and everything, which were a big deal. But yeah, that was probably the biggest retaliation. I remember they're like, whose side are you on? And I just remember being like, hey, honestly, both of you guys were in the wrong.
All right, so those are all crazy stories. And just thanks for listening. Thanks for listening us just catch up, kind of share some funny stories that we like to share with each other and kind of react. So if you have anything interesting that you guys know of, any testimonies, anything that really gets you thinking, just please share from below. We'd love to read them, react to them, and, just share them. But now it's everyone's favorite part, hot take time with Tadamir.
Okay. All right. So if your coffee is more than 4 words, then you're ordering a milkshake.
Pretty much.
Depends.
What do you mean you're ordering a milkshake?
There's just so much sugar and there's so much in there that it should just be considered like a frappuccino. That should just be a milkshake.
But that's one word. You said 4 words. What if you have to say, can I have a chai latte with almond milk? That's 6 words. And you have to say that because you're lactose intolerant.
I think it's more like cookie crumb, whipped cream, macchiato. I think that's more what they're getting at. I don't know if that even makes sense because I'm not a coffee person.
The more flavors, it's just like a milkshake. It's just so sugary.
If you drink coffee straight black, I'm concerned for you.
Look, sometimes, desperate times, desperate measures.
Have you drank coffee straight black before, Vic?
I haven't done it often, but there are nights where I'm like, yo, wake me up. So yes, wake me up.
What's your go-to coffee
Your
drinks?
Your forehead glowed like 2 lights brighter that time.
That's a real skibbity right there.
Whoa.
Skibbity
toilet?
Oh my gosh. Victoria just went from boomer to zoomer in 2 seconds.
Don't be a gooner. The only reason I know how to speak like this is because Juan would not stop speaking like this all weekend.
You have no proof.
Juan, I have 7 witnesses. Don't challenge me.
I will sue you, Victoria Ming. Actually, I can't sue you. That's against the law.
Yeah, the law of God.
Oh,
Amen.
jinx.
Okay, my go-to order for coffee is straight up an Americano.
My go-to order is a matcha or a chai.
That's
Mine
not
is
coffee,
a
though.
white chocolate mocha.
I know, that's why. It's because I'm basic.
I normally
Basic.
do go for matcha, but if I were to try coffee, if I was craving coffee, I normally do the caramel macchiato. It's just, yeah. If you think about it, a kangaroo is just a T-Rex deer.
You're right.
Have you seen the videos of like the kangaroos and how freaking buff they are?
Yeah, that's
They're
terrifying.
scary. Also, I learned what they'll do is they'll go stand in the middle of like a body of water, a small body of water, and they'll lure their prey in there and then put their arms around them and drown them.
That's crazy.
Dang.
Do you know that their tails are so strong that when like they fight, they basically hold their whole body weight on the tail so they can kick you?
Why
Yeah.
do you guys know so many fun facts of kangaroos?
There's a
I
lot
just-
to be said about kangaroos.
Dude, and they're so buff. Like, it's actually kind of scary. Like, it
Are they
makes me
bulletproof?
scared. Dude, might as well be with the guns that they got.
Bulletproof, nothing to lose.
Have you guys watched Kangaroo Jack?
Fly away,
I think I have.
fly away.
Tati, I'm getting a little concerned. I think your hot take was actually that you love kangaroos.
I don't love kangaroos. I read that and I was like, do you think that they look like
What
a
would
T-Rex here?
you do if a buff kangaroo was coming at you?
No. I got a better one.
Say my prayers.
Okay, I got a better one. Would you rather take on a buff kangaroo or a black bear?
Black
Ooh,
bear,
that's-
probably.
Really?
Aren't they friendly?
No.
No.
But I wouldn't.
I
Black
think
bears
that
only
bears-
attack you if
kangaroo-
you attack them.
I think bears can literally
That's a brown
take you
bear,
out.
not a black bear.
Can't like the bears take you out just by like one hit and you're just done?
Yeah, I feel like bears are more lethal than kangaroos because they can hop, but it's not like they can run
But
as
they
fast.
also kick. They kick you really hard. And kangaroos, they have like sharp like toes, don't they? So they can cut you too.
Okay, but imagine a bear backhanding you. You're done.
Is that imagery enough? Okay, I have a genuine question because I know this topic is already dead, but for the longest time, they would ask these girls, would you rather be in the forest alone with a bear or be in the forest alone with a strange man, like a stranger man?
Bear. I'm just kidding. Depends. What if the stranger is nice?
Depends how strange he is. Like, how type of strange?
He was that guy who looked like The Rock and had surgical gloves on and smoked and said, I was going to kill everyone.
Yeah, I'm definitely going for the bear.
Really?
Okay, what if it was like your neighbor?
Yeah.
I'd chill with my neighbor, get to know him.
I mean, you don't have to get along with the strange person. I'd rather do that if it's like my safety.
As long as I'm faster than them.
What is one animal you would fight?
A hummingbird?
Fish, a tarantula.
I like how we just all picked.
What's it, a hummingbird? That's
Yeah,
so
they're
messed
annoying.
up.
Dude, what? They're
Are you
so
about to slap
frustrating.
a hummingbird?
Bro, one
They're
hit.
really fast. Do you think you could even hit it?
Dude, and they have like very, very thin, like, beaks.
Bro,
They
he
could poke
wouldn't
your
see
eye
me.
out.
I would bring the glicky.
All right, Mike Tyson, chill out.
That's crazy.
I'm coming for
I would say an
flounder.
ant because you just stomp on it. Just like, boom.
Dude, those come for revenge, bro.
This reminds me of Vic's realized fear when all the ants tried to avenge that one
The
ant to death.
the flies. All right, my friends. It has been a great episode. We love having you on here listening. Tune in because next week we're going to be talking about kangaroos. We'll give you all the good information, all the fun facts. I'm just kidding. We'll talk about something maybe a little more interesting, unless it's what you guys want. Put a comment down below. But anyway, we love you guys. Have an amazing week, and we will catch you next time. Bye.